Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel, coming at you from a hotel balcony. Check this out, it's not too bad. It's a little bit bizarre though, you know, because this is the Radisson Blu Hotel. There's the ocean in the background, but this hotel, if it wasn't for COVID, would be absolutely brimming with human beings, but it's not. There's absolutely nobody here. It's just me, my girlfriend, and a couple of other people that were in the gym this morning, because I've been to the gym this morning. It's an early kickoff today between Southampton and Chelsea in the Premier League. I'm going to be hopefully getting the video out as soon as I possibly can after the game, but it all depends on the internet here in the hotel. However, Southampton, okay, this is where it gets very interesting. Southampton have lost 6 games in the Premier League in a row. So one would say that they are in dire form. It's relegation-esque kind of form. However, Chelsea, we've been labelled by some of our own fan base, myself included at times, as Charity FC. For those of you that want a definition of that, it's basically a team who sees another footballing club struggling to get any kind of points on the board, and then we open our hands and pass 3 points to that opponent in dire need of points. Chelsea, whatever happens today, please do not turn up to St Mary's thinking it is going to be as straightforward as it was last season when we went down to the South Coast. It was a wonderful victory last season, one of my favourite away days of the year. It's not going to be like that today. Whether Southampton have lost 6 games in a row or not, I can almost guarantee that we will not go over to Southampton and walk over them today. I think it's near on impossible, just because of all of the times I've watched Chelsea in my life and seen us go up against a team who are in bad form, and then all of a sudden, click of a finger, just like magic, they're back in business. So, Chelsea need to go there today with an incredibly professional attitude, to know that on their day, this Southampton team can play some very good stuff. It was only a few weeks ago, you know, they were in the Europa League places, almost Champions League places in the Premier League table. They're not going to be pushovers, despite that 9-0 drubbing that they got away at Manchester United. You know, I don't expect that to happen again, especially with Chelsea at the moment in very, very good form, but we're not scoring loads of goals. And maybe if Southampton do turn up today, just like they have done in their last 6 Premier League games, then this could be an opportunity, on the flip side of that coin of expecting Southampton to turn up, this could be an opportunity for Chelsea to go and get a big win under their belts. But without any further ado, going to go through my lineup today. Sadly, there's no graphics because it is an early kickoff. I'm in Bali, and then my graphic designer is 7 hours behind me, living in Germany at the moment. So shout out to Bruce, but unfortunately it won't be able to be a fully graphic lineup video today. But we will start with the goalkeeper, and we're going to put Kepa Arrizabalaga back in goal. It is simply a case of whether I agreed with Kepa starting that last game or not. The fact that he came in, made a very big save, kept a clean sheet against Newcastle, it pretty much guarantees that Thomas Tuchel's going to allow him to keep his place. If he keeps tinkering with the goalkeeper, then I think the defence will start to lack confidence in that goalkeeper because there's no clear number 1. So if Kepa came in against Newcastle, did a very good job, then I more than expect him to keep his place for this game here in Southampton. I think Kepa looked good, to be honest. I thought some people were messaging me saying that Kepa's distribution is poor. I actually think Kepa with his feet is actually pretty decent. So that being said, Kepa starts in goal today. We move into a centre-back 3. And I'm going to stick with something that's been working very well for us recently. Cesar Azpilicueta, right centre-back. Christensen in the central position because Thiago Silva is not ready. Thomas Tuchel said himself he decided to take a step back. He still has a bit of pain when he steps out onto the field. So no Thiago Silva. Zuma doesn't seem to have a look in. So Rudiger continues in the left centre-back position. It's a tough lineup to choose with this one because we've got a massive game in Bucharest on Wednesday night against Atletico Madrid, first leg of the Champions League last 16 tie. The question is, will Tuchel tinker with the team too much today? Because this is still a massive game in the Premier League, as we're back in the top 4 now. We've got West Ham breathing down our necks. We don't want to go behind them. We've also got Liverpool, who beat Leipzig in the week in the Champions League themselves. They're in bad form in the Premier League, but you just know with the quality in that Liverpool side, they're going to come good at some point. So we need to build ahead of steam here. You know, we can't just look at this Southampton game with Atletico in mind and think, oh, we got to make a load of changes here. But the good news, if we do decide to make changes, is recently we've had players like Chilwell, Ziyech on the bench that are more than capable players to come into the team. So with that being said, I have made a couple of changes today. And I've put Chilwell in the left wing-back position. I think Chilwell is still pretty good going forward. I think Alonso will play against Atletico. And then the right wing-back role, I've given it to Reece James. I think something that we might look at with this team at the moment, the one that I'm making, is that it's very defensive. But Reece James going forward is an absolute machine. We saw him when he came on against Newcastle. He's trying to get round the back of the Newcastle defence, trying to get shots away, trying to get crosses away. And I think even though Callum Hudson-Odoi is obviously a natural winger and he's done pretty well so far in that right wing-back position, I think we probably will see him play in Madrid. So for that reason, Reece James comes in more than capable of doing that role perfectly. I think, if anything, I think he is more suited to the right wing-back role than Callum, obviously, because Callum's more of a winger as opposed to a wing-back. So I think we'll see Reece James play today in what I consider to be his best possible position. It allows him to get forward, and it also shows that he can do the defensive duties well as well, because he's got a good engine inside of him. The central midfield pairing today, I've actually dropped Jorginho for this one. I've gone with Kante and Kovacic. I think we might see Kante start off the bench in the game against Atletico, with Jorginho playing alongside Kova in that game in Madrid. I think in terms of the shape of the team, it's going to be absolutely paramount, pivotal, that Chelsea hold a solid shape in that first leg against Atletico Madrid. And I think Jorginho is the key player in order to allow that to happen. So going to rest Jorginho today off the bench. N'Golo Kante starts in the middle. I think he's definitely looked a little bit off the pace in recent weeks when we've seen him come off that bench. But Kovacic is, at the moment, the most in-form midfielder at the club. He's been brilliant in the last few games. Since Tuchel's come in, he seems to have a new lease of life. You know, he's getting starting minutes as well. He definitely seems more comfortable with what he's asked to do on the pitch. And I think he's got to start in this one against Saints. A must-win game still for Chelsea. And we move into the man behind the strikers. It's going to be Mason Mount. I think Mason has been brilliant so far this season. Again, he was brilliant last season. I'm not even going to address the people that give Mason stick at the moment, because I'm kind of tired of repeating myself. I think Mason's a very key player in this Chelsea team. He brings the energy, he brings the press, he's great on the ball, absolutely fantastic on the turn of shoulder, and I think he's absolutely key in this Chelsea team. We move into the striker positions. I'm not sure about Olivier Giroud. Tammy Abraham's going to be in the squad. Thomas Tuchel said his injury wasn't so bad, which is great news. Timo Werner's obviously going to start in this game. Not entirely sure about Kai Havertz. Don't think he's going to be back and ready. So for that reason, I'm going to start Olivier Giroud up top with Timo Werner. Definitely think there's goals in this Chelsea team. It looks very defensive. However, I think we've got to eliminate the idea of it being too defensive with Reece James going forward. I think Chilwell going forward as well is very dangerous, usually from a flat back four, but I think he can do the job in wing back as well. Let me know your thoughts on this Chelsea starting 11. I know because it doesn't line up properly on the screen, it's kind of hard to imagine it all maybe. But let me know who you'd be starting for this game in the comments down below. Drop a like if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new. And I will try and get 6 things we learn out as quickly as I can today, depending on the internet connection. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you all later. Come on, you Blues.